How are we doing, everybody out there? So it's been a historic week, and we're going to have our podcast here. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about as historic week in the Ravens' history. Started the podcast this week at 8:30 because the Maryland game was on, and man, I need a contract or more money or something like to watch those Terps this year. My goodness. So, real quick, Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia. If you know, you know. Definitely the notary business. Thank you, all of you. I get pinged my phone all the time for signings and everything all the time. I take as many as I possibly can. So definitely check that out. So definitely Genesis Notary Services, Winchester, Virginia. It'll pop up on Google, and it'll definitely pop up on Facebook if you go ahead and you do that. See, Charles Harris, we are Legal Shield. So definitely check that out as well. So definitely put in Harris Legal Shield on Facebook, Harris Legal Shield on LinkedIn, or whatever numbers on there. Definitely, absolutely give us a call so we could go ahead and help you with Legal Shield. If you have a business, no question about it, you want to go ahead and get Legal Shield for it as well. Definitely to RaverySports.company.site. We're going to have a weekend of the Super Bowl. We're going to have our rebrand video for the Reverie Sports site. Might get a little football in that night, but we're going to be talking about the website. We're going to be talking about our brand new app that we have, so you can go ahead and buy those Orioles and Ravens products on there. Absolutely check it out. It definitely look. It's real easy to go to this side or that side of that site. But if you're an Orioles Ravens fan, it's cool if you have one place where you can go and buy the Orioles and the Ravens stuff right there. I mean, you don't have to go through all the other stuff like you do. There are Fanatics links, though, we have if you want that other stuff. So keep that in mind as well. Super Bowl stream, we're going to have the day before and after the game. So we're going to have instant reaction. We're going to have a pregame. Hopefully we can get some driving to the top guys to come on with me for that. And also we're going to start back on the Reverie Sports Conversation that same weekend on Saturday. I don't know yet who it is, who we're going to have, but we're going to have our interview series all through the off season as well, the football off season as well. So we're going to be starting right around the Super Bowl. We're going to be conducting interviews all through probably until August. Those on the channel for you as well. Got a couple people in mind, but I haven't decided yet. All right. So let's get to it. Let's do the game first because that mattered. Ravens season ended. This was the winner-take-all on Sunday night from Azure Stadium, formerly known as Heinz Field, 26-24. The Squealers actually get the win. Just from a football standpoint, forget the Ravens for a second and the Steelers and the two teams. Outstanding game played, both teams. These aren't two great teams by any stretch, but the game was really, really good. I was really impressed with both teams on both sides. So I was really impressed with that. So these were two really good teams. Very impressed with both squads. The way they played in the overall in the end, but only one team can win. And so the Steelers are going to the playoffs as well. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Lamar, 11-18, 238, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. I thought for sure Lamar was going to get more heat for losing this game, even though he was terrific at the end. But those 3 long passes was all they had. That throw to Isaiah Likely that put him in field goal range to even win the game was just unbelievable on both sides. Likely had to reach up at a high point, and he had to throw it into double cover. It looked like it was at least double covered for them to catch that and get that ball down there, and it was just fantastic. The 2 long passes to Zay Flowers, one was completely broken coverage. One, Zay just totally got behind the defense. Devontae Walker actually got a touchdown as well. So Lamar, I thought, was great. He wasn't great from start to finish, I don't think, but he definitely wasn't the reason. I thought he would get more heat because he always does, but he was good. Derrick Henry almost won the rushing title. Again, 120, 20 carries, 126. I thought he was terrific in this game. I thought, like, even knowing they were trying to stop him, he still had a good night overall, considering. Now, not as good as Green Bay because they have better inside guys, better linebackers in general, more focus on the run, overall better defense. Watt did play in this one, so that mattered. But, I mean, just think about what we're talking about. 20 carries on 126, and it was a good night. That had been the strategy all season long. We would have seen way more, another possible 2,000-yard season. Zay Flowers, I thought, was fantastic. We're going to give the Ravens awards out next week, and you're going to see how good I think Zay Flowers is. But Flowers, I thought, definitely to Matt and I had an interesting conversation last night about what's going on with Mark Andrews as compared. I think part of the problem is for him, if it is a problem, is that Zay Flowers has really emerged. Zay Flowers is not just a guy now running the 9 route or just running the waggles that they got. This guy now understands defenses, understands coverages, understands has a feel for where Lamar Jackson is going to throw the football and what he wants to do. So this is why you're seeing some of the production drop from Mark Andrews because of the maturation of Zay Flowers. Also, I think the other thing with Andrews, just real quick, is the line was so bad. Like they use more max protect, they use them in blocking more. So I think that was it. But Zay was fantastic. You could argue that either he or Lamar was the best player on the field. Trent Simpson, 9 tackles. Some people want Roquan gone, like because of the high contract and the production has kind of fell back a bit. So, and part of it is Trent Simpson has really developed in this last. I mean, he didn't win the starting job, but both of these guys were really good. Trent Simpson, Teddy Buchanan was really good. Put Trent Simpson back in. He had 9 tackles. He's been the leading tackler as well. Interesting to see if they do that now that you're going to have a new coach, now that John Harbaugh is gone, and see what they do with Trent Simpson with 9 tackles as well. Aaron, 31 for 47, 291, 1 TD. You got to put pressure on this guy. He's still, I know he's past his prime and all that stuff, but he's still good enough to go ahead and chop you up if you're not going to go ahead and play any coverage on him. Like, you got to go ahead and do that at least. The pass rush of the Ravens is, and I put it in the blog and I put it on Twitter and everything like that. That's 9-1. 9-1-1. You got to do something about the pass rush. For goodness sake, you can't have just Aaron Rodgers. I don't think you win this. I don't think the Steelers are even in this game if they could get rusher. This is why, like, the people like the Texans in the playoff game because of that. So, but Aaron did what he did. Aaron had a good night, and they went ahead and won the game there as well. Aaron won a good night, 294 as well. Even without to really put it on you, without their best receiver, DK Metcalf, even without him on the shelf as well. Jaylen Warren, I don't know if he's underrated or not. I still can't put my finger on this guy. He looks good at times, and I think that's kind of the thing with him that I keep coming back to. You look good at times. He is good at times, but then what about those other times, right? That makes sense. He plays well, but you wonder why he's not more consistent. Why they don't more consistently get him the ball. This is kind of what a lot of his games look like. 14 carries, 66 yards. The Ravens have a decent enough run defense, but it seems like they just kind of forget to go to him. This was the man with the game-winning touchdown, Calvin Austin, 3 receptions, 55 yards. I think this was just a slip and fall by Awuzie on defense. I think that was what got him in as well. Awuzie has been one of the better players all season. And it was just one of those things where he fell down and Austin blew right by him. By the time he was able to recover, he's halfway in the end zone and he scored. That was the game right there. That's why he got in. I got to say, Cam Hayward, despite TJ Watt playing, despite Highsmith, this guy was all over the field. This guy is supposed to be past his prime or whatever, and he was terrific. I thought he was the difference as well. The Ravens, he just was killing Daniel Falele, obviously. he was killing the whole squad. I mean, definitely breaking it up inside pass first, making things difficult. Lamar had to step around them all night long as well. Cam Hayward was good in this game as well. Came down to a last-second kick, as we know. I'm not showing it. Like, forget it. It's not on my page. It did happen, though. Tyler Luke, after the catch by Likely, 44-yard reception. It was about 44-yard field goal. Tyler Luke, they line it up on the center hash. He misses it. I heard some people say that the wind wasn't that bad that night in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to go with that because that's a goofy place as far as kickers. I think that's the hardest place in the league to kick. That wind is always acting crazy and swirling and everything like that. And it could have been pressure. And then look, he was a rookie kicker. He was a pressure. So I do understand that could have happened. You know, he just shanked it. I don't know. Obviously, watching, I wasn't at the game to say, okay, it was the win. So I don't know. But I know he didn't make it. And so the Ravens are going home. I would say this about Tyler. He was being harassed by Raven fans, his wife. No place for y'all. Y'all stupid. Don't do that. Don't be harassing the man and his wife or whatever. Second thing is, this is kind of what I warned a lot of you all season long about without Justin Tucker on your team. The Ravens have not, and I wrote on the blog, Raven Sports blog spot, so definitely check that out, right? But this is the real world of kickers. Like, this is what teams go through. The Ravens, for the most part, haven't had this. You've had Justin Tucker, who might go to the Hall of Fame. Matt Silver probably won't go to the Hall of Fame, but he was really, really good for a long, long time. And you haven't had a lot of these issues. But this is what most of the league goes through with kickers. So it reared its ugly's head. It definitely cost John Harbaugh his job. So John Harbaugh, after the game after yesterday, I got it at work. While I was at work yesterday, about around 5:30 when I saw it, at least. I saw it like not long after. It was decided that John Harbaugh is no longer the coach of the Ravens. 8-9 finishing up. So that is it for the coach as far as that goes. And that is it for the Ravens regular season. Remove that from the stage. not the graphic. So obviously, a lot of you watching this surely know it's been everywhere. John Harbaugh was relieved of his duties by Steve Bisciotti yesterday. We did a video last night on that. We talked about it on I talked about it. A lot of the guys on the Driving to the Top. If you're watching this on Driving to the Top, we talked about. Definitely check that out where we discuss John Harbaugh out there. Shout out to also Baltimore content creator Matt Trigger. Definitely check it out. We Be Purple podcast if you haven't tried it out. Him and Dan Wilcox. Dan Wilcox has been killing like Sean Harbaugh for a minute. So definitely check that out as well. So this is a time that we haven't had much in the history of the team. You have a same coach for 18 years. Before that, you had one for 9 years. So now you do not have a head coach right now for the Baltimore Ravens. So who is going to be the next coach for the Ravens? And so I'm even going to put this up. Like, this is what I thought was going to happen. I'm going to even put the graphic up. So we don't have this to talk about, right? Because there's no playoff game. So we'll get to the wild card weekend. But we're going to take that time, and obviously we're going to talk about who the next coach of the Ravens is going to be here. we want to go ahead and go over that. So this is going to be a wide net here. So we don't know exactly who the coach is going to be because obviously Steve Bisciotti is going to make his decision based on a couple of things. And also, I have to mention that because when John Harbaugh got the job before, nobody thought that John Harbaugh was going to actually get hired. One second. Oh. Sorry about that. Had to get the charger. All right. Third wall here. Yay. All right. So we're going to talk about these head coaches here. This is a list we've comprised. We're going to go over a few names of a couple of things here that might happen. Like I was saying before, nobody thought John Harbaugh, a special teams coach, for the most part, although I think he had moved to secondary coach, was going to get hired by the Ravens. He was kind of like an off the radar type of hire. So we don't know for sure. But these names, the first five here I'm going to mention are in that category. I think they're going to come up. I don't know if the Ravens will hire them, but the names will come up. Matt Burke, defensive coordinator for the Texans. Texans have the number one defense in the NFL. The Ravens obviously have seen that firsthand. Fairly young guy as far as a coach on defensive mentality. So if they do want a guy like that, that's kind of one I think would do. Vance Joseph, Denver, you could argue if the Texans don't have the number one defense, it's going to be Denver. It's going to be Denver. Vance Joseph, I think, is about 53, though. I think they may go a little younger with that. I kind of question him, too. His defenses have been good. I think sometimes they've not been so good at times. But we'll see. T. Martin, current quarterback coach. Now, he's about 47 years old. Good college player, former quarterback. The question with T. Martin is never been a coordinator at the pro level and never been a head coach, obviously. He definitely has, though, a good relationship with Lamar. He was one of the guys they wanted to keep. So definitely I think they're going to talk to him. Two other obvious names, Mike McCarthy, former Packer and Cowboys coach. These guys he's won Super Bowls. It's good in Dallas, I think. Dallas, I think, is a very tough job. I think it's hard to deal with Jerry Jones. It's hard to deal with that circus. It's hard to deal with that. He won, but it's interesting there. And Bill Belichick's name is going to come up. I don't think they're going to hire him. It's going to come up because you got 7 Super Bowls. So it wouldn't completely shock me if his name came up. All right, so those are the names I think that are other names that are discussed. All right, so let's go to me least greatest, I think, a list. This is just speculation in general, but these are some names that are out there right now that are coordinators, hot coordinators, other coaches, things like that. Got names that are out there for a head coach. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's start here. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame head coach, 39 years old, 43-12 at Notre Dame these last couple years. Everything but a national championship at Notre Dame. He's been really good. I think he did say he's going back. That's why he's not higher on the list. So, but very impressive guy. Teams really understands college football. College also too. Hiring a college coach compared to years ago, it's not that different from pro anymore because these guys getting paid. They have certain. It's a little different. I'd call him. I think this opportunity is a very unique opportunity, but that's why he's not higher on the list because he did say he was leaving. Former Browns coach Kevin Stefanski. Don't laugh. He was actually younger than I thought he was. It's like he's 43 years old. Stefanski, I think the problem with him, he's actually won Coach of the Year 2 separate times. So he's actually done well at times in Cleveland, really with no quarterback. So the thinking is you bring Lamar, he goes with Lamar Jackson, and with his understanding of offense, and he can really, really do his thing. It's hard to win in Cleveland. That's just not a good job. Cleveland, the Jets, just certain places, it's hard. They gave him Deshaun Watson. He made Joe Flacco work. I think there is a universe where this works. He got fired by the Browns. I understand that. But I think this is a decent offensive guy that the Ravens would look at as well. Who's the next one? Robert Saleh, 49ers defensive coordinator, 46. He's about as old as I think they want to hire a coach. Late 40. I think like a T. Martin, I said 40. He's like 47. But I don't think they want to go 50 plus and hire. They want to keep a guy that's young that can have a Harbaugh-like run possibly as well. He will fix the defense. Saleh did a masterful job, I think, as defensive coordinator the first time with the 49ers. I thought his defenses looked good in New York, and I thought he did a great job this year. I mean, it's statistically not great, but good considering the circumstances, I think, for sure, as well. So Saleh, I don't know how good he is on offense. That's my thing with him. I do like him, but I think I question that how good he is on offense. Interesting candidate. It wouldn't break my heart, though, if they went ahead and hired him. I think this guy here is a favorite. Jesse Minter, Chargers defensive coordinator. Worked for the Ravens before, worked for the University of Michigan, working for Jim Harbaugh. In a lot of former Ravens are there. So Eric DeCosta is very familiar with him. Has a good relationship reportedly with Lamar, even though he's a defensive guy. That's going to be big. That's going to be important. I think he gets it. If out of everybody on this list, if I'm not saying not wanting it necessarily him, but I think out of all the ones here, I think he's already candidate. I think he's going to be a big candidate for the Ravens. I think definitely. I don't think they're going to shy away from hiring a Harbaugh or Harbaugh. I don't think they're going to care about that because Eric DeCosta is still going to have a hand in this. Not the final word, obviously, but I think the fact that he's familiar with EDC, Ozzie Newsome, and all that. I think that's going to help his case as well. Clint Kubiak, 38 years old, offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. Love his offense. He's going to run Kyle Shanahan's offense. His dad was an offensive coordinator for the Ravens briefly. So we know what we're getting. We're going to get some of that Kyle Shanahan type offense. Look at the job he's done with Sam Darnold in Seattle. Ravens work with Mike McDonald, so that's a Raven-like environment there as well. So I do understand that. I think the Ravens do want to bring somebody in that fits their culture. Right? You're not getting a new quarterback. You're not going to get drafted. You got veteran players. You need their respect right away. So keep that in mind. I think that's a thing as well. So I think Kubiak, and they've already requested permission, from what I do understand, to talk to him. So definitely, he's going to interview for sure. Joe Brady, Bills OC, definitely working with Josh Allen doesn't hurt. But he's got to run offense. I think he would fit what he would do with Lamar Jackson, what he's doing in Buffalo. So I do think that. I do think that he's a young guy, one of the youngest, so if he's not the youngest one, 36 years old. I think they're going to go with the young guy. The Bills are going to score a lot of points. I think offense might be the direction you're going with the young player. So with a young coach, not that long of a head coach coordinator. So I think that's a bit of a concern, but I definitely think his name is absolutely there. Couple more. Mike Leclerc. Brother is already a coach, Rams offensive coordinator as well for the Niners. So he's definitely worked passing game coordinator for the Niners, worked for the Jets, now working with the Rams the last few years, had most of his success, been a coach now for in the NFL about 11 years already. So even though he's young, finally starting having success, getting an MVP quarterback with Stafford as well. So keep that in mind. Obviously, some of y'all don't even know the next one here. Chris Shula. Also with the Rams. Get back on the screen. Defensive coordinator. Their defense is really good as well. A little bit more of an unknown. I think Rams defense has been good this year. Working with Sean McVay, interesting, I think, as well. Definitely, you see the last name. So obviously, long coaching history, long family as well. So keep that in mind with him. His defenses are going to be I say this. McVay and those guys, they definitely play with discipline, coach with discipline and all that. He'll definitely be a modern coach that for sure you're bringing in. One more. Guy that's already asked for permission. Guy, a lot of people should have been hired for defensive coordinator, got a defensive coordinator position in Miami. Anthony Weaver, they know him. They know him very well. He's a former Raven, drafted by Ozzie Newsome, played for the Ravens, coached for the Ravens not that long ago, just recently moved him. So this is a guy, they know him. I think they may want to bring him in and talk to him. He could be in that category if they don't hire him as head coach because they're so familiar with Anthony Weaver. The stats aren't particularly great, though, in Miami. So you got to keep that in mind. How well of a coach is familiar as they are with him, it's a little bit more of an unknown. Hasn't been a coordinator a long time, even though he's a former player. And this is the name that keeps coming up is what the fans want. Brian Flores, 44 years old, for the Dolphins. I'm not sure what his legal situation is. I don't quite know what the legal situation is. I do know he's going to fix the defense. I know that. Like, his defenses are good, period. His defense is fantastic. I don't care who's on there. This guy is the best defensive coach, I think, possibly in the NFL. Deserves consideration as well. He's a bit of a prickly guy, so that could be an issue with some players. And that's going to be the thing. Can he ease up a little bit? Can he be a guy that players like and players like to play for as good as a coach as he is? There are some names. There are some names here as well for the head coach. So we're going to find out. We're going to go live too as soon as we can, whenever we find out who the next head coach is. So yes, we're gonna keep talking football because there are games going on this weekend here as well. It's the wild card. So real quick, let's talk about NFL Week 18. Obviously, it didn't go well for us, the Ravens. So we did have a Big Five last week. As well. There we go. All right, so we did have a Big Five last week as well. Panthers lost, but they still get in. So apparently it wasn't a winner take all. It was three-way tie. So them, the Bucks, and the Falcons. If the Falcons win, all finishing in 9 meant 3 teams finished in first, and the Panthers won the tiebreaker of the 3, even though they lost. Todd Bowles, Bucks coach, still has a job apparently as well. Panthers are going to move on, get into the playoffs. Seahawks and 49ers as well. Seahawks are legit. They're good on both sides. I mean, I think the only thing that people aren't believing in is because it's Sam Darnold as the quarterback. Darnold is solid. I don't know if he's spectacular, but with this defense and everything there, they're going to be the number 1 seed for the first time since the Pete Carroll days in a long time as well. Colts and Texans. Texans, once they basically found out that the Jags won the division, they took a lot of their starters out in the second half. I don't know why Chris Ballard still has a job. Why? I don't understand that. No more to say about no more to say about that one there as well. Broncos win 19-3, win the division. I think the Broncos are definitely legit. Again, kind of concerned about the quarterback. I think that's the main reason why. Nix is good, hasn't really been there before, not piling up stats of a tremendous nature. So it is a bit of a concern there for that. But Dolphins and the Patriots, Mike McDonald is still there. Patriots going into the playoffs, number 2 seed. All right. So that was last week. This week, Rams and Panthers. This is one of my favorite games to watch early in the year, and they're going to play in the first round. I do think you're going to get a different result this time in the Panthers. Panthers are just limited in terms of the things that they can do. Bryce Young is what he is. They're going to run the ball a lot. I think the Rams will be ready for it more this time than they were before. And I do like the Rams in this game. Panthers are just limited offense. It's going to be hard for them to beat the Rams. The Rams, though, aren't clicking on cylinders, though. I would say that. So after this week, I think the Rams are going to have more problem. Packers and the Bears. Bears, I think this is their year in terms of beating the Packers. Historically, you know how that goes. The Packers have historically beat the Bears, but I do like the Bears in this game. Packers are still good. I think the Micah Parsons just really did them in. I think the Bears do have some holes on defense, though, but I don't know if you can exploit them. They should have Jordan Love ready to go in this game as well, but I like the Bears. It'll be some scoring in this one. So buckle your chin strap. There's definitely scoring in this one. The Bills and the Jags. I said the Bills are a bit of a fraud. I think I think defensively they're not that great. I think they have some issues. Offensively, if you can stop the run, you can do that. They're beatable too. I think the Jags are good. Jags are pretty good. I think Trevor Lawrence has kind of really bounced back here lately. I think because though the Bills have been there so many times, we're just assuming that they're going to beat. I think that's the thing, and there's a lot of pressure on Josh Allen, especially because I know you know what you're already saying. There's no Lamar, there's no Mahomes to stand in your way anymore. So I don't think they beat the Jags. I think the Bills. This is not as good as this year as well. shout out to the Niners for at least being here. Good for them. Like being such a good they've been pretty good all year, but I don't think the Eagles again after this week, but the Niners are just so banged up. I don't think the Niners have much. Brock Purdy and their offense is going to score some points, possibly. I think the Eagles' defense is underrated. They do fall asleep at times, but I don't even think that's going to be enough for this one. I do like the Eagles as well. Chargers and Patriots, just a bad matchup for the Chargers. I think like if they were playing Denver in the first round, I actually would like them more. I think this would be closer. But you're going into New England, you got to go all the way across country. It's a cold weather game. Herbert's really never won a playoff game. As quiet as this cup. I do like Drake May. I've been saying it I kind of said it in the offseason. I kind of said it. The Patriots are a real team. I think anybody just not believing in them. Drake May, I think, may be MVP worthy. I wouldn't give him the MVP necessarily, but I definitely think he's MVP worthy as well. I like the Patriots in this one. Squealers and the Texans on Monday night. The Texans should win this game, right? I mean, they defense number one in the NFL. Quarterback, I think, the better of the two. I'm just having a hard time thinking the lights aren't going to be too bright for them. I do think the Steelers win one game. I do think that even though they won the division, I do think they're motivated to win one game. They are going to have Metcalf in this one as well. I like Pittsburgh in the first game. There you go. Big 5, not exactly. Wild card. Big yeah. All right. Real quick, we're going to talk college football playoffs. 24-14 Miami over Ohio State in the last game that they played there as well. Miami's not playing with y'all. Carson Beck looked, I thought, really good. Not enough this year from Ohio State. Not enough this year from Ohio. Not enough from this. I don't think they was motivated. That's just kind of the vibe that I got as well. Oregon State, Texas, 23-0 as well. That was the score in the last game. Texas Tech, I thought, was always a bit of an issue as well. Indiana all over Alabama. No surprise. Absolutely no surprise that Indiana was all over Alabama in the Rose Bowl. The SEC is not better than the SEC. It's not better than the Big Ten, rather, as well. So, Fiesta Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss and Georgia. That was the other game. Ole Miss actually did go ahead and upset Georgia. That actually did surprise me. Ole Miss is motivated to go ahead and take this title without Lane Kiffin as well. This week, we're going to get Miami and Georgia. And this Ole Miss in this game. Put it down wrong. Love Miami in this game. I think Miami is definitely going to get it there. The best game, I think, is going to be Oregon and Indiana. Indiana, I think, wins the whole thing over Oregon. They played in the regular season, and they went into Eugene and actually beat the brakes. I think in one of the toughest stadiums as well. These are really good teams, and these might be the two quarterbacks playing for the number one draft pick in this one as well. Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore. All right, as well. Let's go over the Terps. I don't know if that record's right. I think that record there is 7-6. But they're going to play the Blue Blood this week as well. Miami. First of all, Terps tonight. They can't score, guys. They're offensively, they're just their last two games. Indiana played them tonight. We've kind of seen the trend. They can play pressure defense, put on for a half, and then the Hoosiers just kind of took it over in the second half. This is kind of like what we've seen when they play good teams all year long. They want to play defense, They want to play defense, so they put defensive guys in, but those guys can't score. So you put the offensive guys that don't play as much, and then that's Buzz has got issues. I think overall in time it will work and he'll be the right guy for the job. But as well, same in the Oregon game. They didn't even have Jackson Halstead in the game, one of their main guys, and they couldn't score in that one. So let's take a look. Pharrell Payne, hopefully they get him back. He has an ankle injury. He's still the leading scorer, 17.5 points a game. Darius Adams, again, who are the three best players on Maryland? That's a fair question because the rotations are crazy. Now that Solomon Washington, who has played well the last couple games, he scored. Adams he had 13 tonight, but I see him long stretches that got him on the floor. But Adams, I think, is playing the most. Dickie Cole, I don't know why you just not letting him go. Why does he have to fight for playing time as well? Now, I understand he's 5'11". He doesn't defend. Then again, Buzz Williams is trying to get some defense. But this guy would be playing more minutes and just letting him go. Because he's the one guy I think can score and get you some daggone points as well. So interesting to see that as well. The Blue Blood, the Bruins. Tyler Bilodeau, I think I'm saying this right. Bilodeau, I'm saying. 19 points, 5.2 rebounds. Kind of reminds me of a Kevin Love type, another former Bruins player there as well. Good body inside. Can shoot that little baseline jumper, kind of moves around a little bit, can shoot from the outside, but all in all, like a power player, uses his size as well. They're going to need Pharrell Payne to go against a guy like that. Xavier Booker is more at home at UCLA than he was at Michigan State. So, because now with him around, with Beldo around, he can kind of just play a true center position and not have to worry as much about carrying the whole load, whatever, worrying about playing minutes, playing with Time Izzo, and all that pressure defense. Donovan Dent was preseason All Big Ten. Really, really good. I think he's probably their top guy as far as offense, along with Tyler Bilodeau, so things like that. They have an offensive structure in UCLA. So UCLA is a blue blood, many national championships that they have as well. And so we will see how good the Terps are. The Terps now, that record is now 7-8. Look, tough stretch here. USC still pretty good. Penn State after that. Then Illinois, top 25. Michigan State, top 25. Purdue, top 5. So I wouldn't print my tournament tickets yet. For those of you that want to see the Terps in the tournament, really a bit of a struggle so far for the Terps. They just don't have players yet. And I think people are blaming it on injuries. They have decent players, but you don't have any studs. And the one you have is on the shelf. And the one guy that was developing is on the shelf. You have some guys that can score. Darius Adams is getting there. But I just don't like the rotation, though. I don't like the rotation just looks wonky to me. He's just not – he doesn't look sure about what he wants to do in terms of that. Well, I'll take that back. He's sure – Buzz Williams is sure about what he wants to do, but he's not sure about – he's sure about what he wants to do, but he doesn't have the horses to do what he wants to do and score points. He wants to play good, hard pressure defense, but he doesn't have horses for that. All right. Maryland, man, is looking bad so far. It's tough to even get there as well. All right. So our list is going to start next week. Top 10 players at each position going into the 2025 season. But tonight, the top 20 MLB players ever. So last night, Adam asked me, okay, well, you're going to watch, are these of all time? These are of all time. Now, go ahead and argue. I'll go ahead and post them tomorrow. But to me, these are the 20 best. You know, the baseball is much harder to beat football in a sense because there's so much more history. Eras are so different. Looking at some of these players, I mean, you go back to the turn, so these guys pitched 300 innings, started all these games, pitched different now. Like so statistically, some of it is some subjective nature with that. So here we go. Top 20 all time. Ken Griffey Jr. For the Seattle Mariners, played with the Reds. Junior Griffey, I think, is the word I think about him with Ken Griffey is he is a natural, right? So the first time I saw Ken Griffey play when I was younger, like you see like he was a star just right away. It's just a star right away. He didn't even know, kind of like Bo Jackson to the next level in the sense of he didn't even really, in a lot of ways, even understand the game yet, you know. Somebody asked, do you look for pitches? No, I just kind of go out there and just do, and I just hit it 300 feet and no problem. Griffey, I think the reason why he isn't higher is because injuries later in his career. I think that he kept going. I mean, from 89 to 99, I mean, the stats, I mean, he's what, over 100 RBIs, I think, just about every season. So I think that as he got older and he was more injured, et cetera, I think that's the only reason why Griffey's not higher. But Griffey, I think, maybe the most natural great athlete one to ever play the game of baseball. I cannot have a list without Rickey Henderson, the all-time stolen base leader. Ricky said this. Ricky said that. There's nothing like Rickey Henderson playing baseball nowadays. Rickey Henderson was a force multiplier every time he stepped on the field, with his cockiness, with his arrogance, and also too with his great stolen base prowess. Like they don't even acknowledge nowadays when guys have good base stealing seasons. But Rickey, like how many times he had it, stole over 100 bases in 1980, 1983. 58, 65, 74. I think it was in 89. Yeah, 74. Like just crazy. Rickey Henderson as well. Greatest leadoff hitter, I think, of all time. Greatest stolen base of all time. You got to have Rickey Henderson on the list. Number 19. Number 18, Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. No question about it. He should be in the Hall of Fame at this point. I think now that he's passed on, some people think he shouldn't be. I think the greatest pure hitter of all time, greatest slap hitter there ever was to ever hit the game. 4,091 hits of all time. There'd be no question about it if it wasn't for his gambling and all his issues and everything like that. Rose, I think, and Rose was fun to watch. You watch Bryce Harper, and that's what you saw when you saw Pete Rose. He was a guy without the home runs. That's what you got, Pete Rose. So he was the slap hitter. But Pete Rose, I think, was phenomenal for his time. I have Shohei Ohtani in the top 20 all time. Shohei, I think what we're seeing, he's only not higher because he's still going. But I definitely got Shohei Ohtani. There's people that believe he's the best top 10 pitcher right now. That's just saying that. I don't think we'll never see this again. Clearly, he's the best offensive player in the National League for many years, and he might be a top-flight pitcher. Get him on the mound. He might be the greatest now DH to ever play. This guy's on a legend. This guy's a league by itself. Shohei Ohtani, what he's done as well. The only knock hasn't been great in the playoffs except for last year. That's about it. Everything else, no question about it. Shohei Ohtani. These two are very close. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring them up on the screen at the same time. Greg Maddux. I don't know why people have Maddux so much higher than Rocket. I think like if you just like the surgical nature, Greg Maddux sliced up everybody on the mound as far as that goes. There was no more dominant starter that wasn't the flamethrower maybe anywhere than Greg Maddux. So but you compare wins and everything else. For me, I have him a little bit behind the Rocket. Rocket, I want the power, the force multiplier. I think had it not been for injuries, I think people would separate it. Rocket did miss parts of seasons as well. He moved teams a little bit more. He went to the Yankees. He went to the, right? I think like that. But Rocket, I think as well. Also, too, we know the steroid allegations, the issues he had, and all that. And I think that's the other thing. Kind of like, I think he's kind of in the Terrell Owens category as well. Some people just don't like, and that could kind of get you an all-time ranking. I think Greg Maddux is just more like, but I've always thought that Rocket was a little bit ahead of Greg Maddux. Here's an Oriole, Frank Robinson. I don't think only other than Jackie Robinson, as far as being a black player, more influential in the movement of black athletes in this country as well. Frank Robinson was very underrated because he was a outstanding major league player, multiple times MVP, first guy to hit MVP in both leagues. If you want to say he's a great Red, one of the great Orioles, great in the World Series, former Triple Crown winner. I think he's even underrated as well. So Frank Robinson, I think, is one of I have him at 14. Frank Robinson, and he's great defensively as well. Ted Williams, the hit machine, I think one of the greatest. As good as he was as a hitter, probably one of the highest averages, over 300. Last guy hit over 400. Definitely. He hit a lot of home runs as well. I think that's what, for me, separated him from Pete Rose as well. He was an outstanding hitter, and he actually hit for power. Now, he was in Boston a lot of his career as well, but this guy was just a machine as far as hitting the baseball. Ted Williams, I think, at number 13. I think Mickey Mantle is one of the first changed the game in a unique way. He was the first baseball. If you hear a lot of Bob Costas and guys like that talk about Mickey Mantle, the first real TV star of baseball. It was the era where he kind of took over for Joe DiMaggio, as well as the guy. The Yankees were good every year, and he was the guy on the team first. All the way up until the late 60s. If you talk to guys like 60 years old and all that, you would ask him who their favorite player is. It's this guy, Mickey Mantle. Stats, I think, definitely absolutely justified. Over 500 home runs, over 500 home runs, 2,500 hits as well. And I do nod a little bit to guys that win. This guy frequently won. Christian Matheson from the Reds. Look, I know the eras are different, so it's kind of hard to go ahead and have guys as far as stats, but these guys, stats, you just can't. You just can't do it. I mean, you just have to go ahead and put them in a unique category. As well. 2.13 career ERA, 373 wins, 2,500 strikeouts. I mean, it's hard to combat that. He pitched for a very long time, pitched for the New York Giants, used to be San Francisco Giants as well. Mathis, I think he was at the end of his career. Also was with the Reds. So, yeah, it's hard not to have him. Stand man, usual. Again, I think if in that same era with Mantle, Musial, I think, might have been a better player, but he was in on the Yankees. Musial was a better player than Mantle, but definitely too, maybe not as impactful in that sense, but every bit as far as statistically what Mickey Mantle was as well, even a little bit better. That's why I have him a little bit higher. Stan Musial, number 10. Russell Hornsby for the St. Louis Cardinals as well. That was almost before you could even call that. Like as well. Hornsby stats, I think, are awesome, off the charts. as well at second base. Definitely, too, if you look at it, I think the greatest second baseman in the history of baseball. No question about it. Number 9, Cy Young, when the award is named after you. It was great when I'm talking about somebody pitching 300 innings, pitching till they're 45 years old, pitching until as well dominant in his fashion. Probably the Cardinals, I put that because I don't even think that we called the Cardinals like when they were there, St. Louis. They did actually become the St. Louis guy. I think it was 1901 or something like that. But definitely Cy Young was fantastic for them. Walter Johnson. I think there might never be a better winner in terms of the history of baseball. You definitely have to put him there. His stats were just you just had to do it with Walter Johnson. Just run them down real quick. 417 wins. My goodness. 802 games pitched. 660 starts. 217 ERA. Struck on over 3,500 hitters. ERAs mostly here. He was about 39 years old before he started to tail off, where his ERA reached over 5. Walter Johnson was fantastic. Looking at that as well. Albert Pujols. I don't know why he's not in higher regard. I think Pujols, was as dominant, as everything you're seeing with Shohei Ohtani. I don't know why people say he wasn't any good with the Angels. That isn't true either. The Angels weren't as good. That's true. But Pujols, I think, was terrific as well. I think Pujols, the World Series is probably the one thing with him, like multiple World Series. I think definitely he could definitely be number 1. Multiple World Series, the Iron Horse, the guy who used to hold Cal Ripken, broke the record. Second most games played as well. 2,131 games as well. Definitely played with Babe Ruth. Outstanding stuff from the Horse. Never missed a game. Was outstanding in the games. I think was a tremendous power hitter, actually going at it with the Babe. Say hey kid, Willie Mays. The Willie Mays image, him playing stickball in Harlem, will live in infamy as well. Rest in peace to, I think, Willie Mays. I think the most, you talk about what we saw with Griffey, that was what Willie Mays was. Just did everything well. Hit for power, hit for average, real natural, great in the outfield, fantastic stuff. Hank Aaron, as good of a power hitter as we've ever seen in the game of baseball as well. All-time leader for the longest time, 755 home runs. Definitely broke the record. Great home run hitter, Hank Aaron. I think he's still underrated. I have 3 on this list, and I think he's still not talked about as much. Greatest folklore, most famous athlete of all time, except for, I think, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, and Tiger Woods. Babe Ruth, as far as an American athlete, I don't think there's a better power hitter in the history of the game than Babe Ruth as far as his era. He was surpassed by number 1, but as far as his era, he was also a pitcher on the mound for years as well. And number 1, don't tell me about steroids. Greatest player I ever saw. I thought, like, if he probably would go in the Hall of Fame, just if he never played for the Giants, you're putting him in the Hall of Fame for what he did with the Pirates. That's how good he was. What he did with the Giants the second half was even more impressive. Hit more home runs after 30 than before 30. Whatever he was on, he was terrific. So Barry Bonds, number 1 of all time. Ran a minute late. It'll be on our website tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us here. You have a great rest of your day. We'll stay on the Ravens story as well.